Dating horror stories.
Dating horror stories.
Dating horror stories. What's your first one?
My first one for me.
Age before beauty.
Always, darling. Always. I think the scariest was I was going out with a guy, but I met him. He had a broken leg, and I, didn't think much of it. It was, just a broken leg. So after we've been going out for a while, I said, "Hey, what happened?" And he literally said, "My, you know the story. My ex-wife ran me over." That's 22 flags came up. Oh, really? Ding, 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 ding. So, to say the least, I ran also very fast before the psycho would get a hold of me.
And he had 2 kids, right? 2 daughters.
Yeah.
And they would call her house and then hang up. Like, or what would they do?
Yeah, no. They would call my house, and one time I was telling him, you know what? Somebody left some insults here. What's going on? And he said, really? Who could ever do that to you? That is, let me hear the messages. And I let them hear the message. And he was like, oops, those are my daughters. I said, no more. This is it. This is crazy. So that was like my funniest.
Then what about when you were out with my dad and you guys bumped into him at that restaurant?
Oh, and then he walked in, and then because your dad knew him, obviously, because we worked in the same field.
But did he know who he was to you?
Yes, he knew.
How?
He knew because he knew that he had gone out with me.
How?
I don't know, the grapevine. Everybody knew everybody there. So what he did was that when he went by, he pretended. Your father was the one that pretended to be tripped by the ex, okay? And then he was like, I've been assaulted. And he literally pressed charges, and they took him. Because the other one got upset. He said, I haven't even touched you.
But they liked.
And then they went at each other's throats because they knew who each other is. And I was like, he ended up going to the police, not your father, but the other guy ended up going with the police. And the guy was saying, and he was telling the truth.
The police actually took him?
Yes, they actually took him. And the police, and he was telling the police officer, I swear to you, I did not do anything. And he was telling the truth. And I was like,
How come they believed?
Because your father had a way of talking that would just convince everybody.
What about the guy that you broke up with him and he told you he was going to put your dog's nipples on a plate? Do you remember that?
No, that wasn't a horror story. That was a way to blackmail me. It didn't get to me.
So tell me his exact words. So
if
you dump him.
Yes, if you don't go out with me again, I'm going to have your... I started laughing because it was so ridiculous.
Great response to a psychopath. You won't do that.
Oh, come on. Can you be more original?
That's the
Leave
best
my
you
puppy
got.
out of this one. He said, I will put the nipples of your dog on a silver platter. And I was like, whoa!
That's the video. I have no dating stories.
Oh, no, yes, you do. What about the time that you called me? I'm like, so what again, honey? Where are you? I just got dumped in the middle of the day.
Okay, so I was on a date in high school. So that's important because the brain hasn't fully developed for the man at the stage yet. Does it ever? We were on a date and I don't know, he was upset about, oh my God.
You don't remember that?
I literally don't remember what he was upset about, but he got really mad and he got out of my car. And he's like, I'm walking home. Like, I was like, okay. So I drove home and I went to bed and I got up the next morning and to all these missed calls and texts, like I had to go to the emergency room.
Blisters.
For 3rd-degree burns on my feet because I got new shoes and I had to take them off because they were hurting. And then I was walking the street and like
barefooted.
It was the nighttime. You were walking on the sidewalk. Like you did not get 3rd-degree burns on your feet. And that was, I guess, but I was okay. One same guy. You're gonna see a trend here shortly. We were, oh my god, we were in the movie theater. I don't even know what we're gonna watch. And Magic Mike, the first one, the first trailer. I don't even know what year Magic Mike came out, but the trailer comes on, and I'm literally eating popcorn, watching the trailer like a normal person, right? Everyone in the theater is watching the trailer, and I'm eating my popcorn. And he's right here. I literally remember this. And I'm eating my popcorn. Like, I see something in my peripheral. And he's staring at me like this. Like, watching me watch this Magic Mike trailer. And I'm like, what? And he's like, why are you looking at them like that? And I'm like, it's Channing Tatum. I don't know. Why aren't you looking at them? And he got so mad. He got up and left. He left the movie theater because I was looking at the Magic Mike trailer. But I know that every time we'd break up, he'd always have something more extravagant to like come back. Like it would be a ton of roses or an Apple Watch, an iPad, some jewelry. I'm like, wow. What will he get me next? Same guy. Get this. We're still talking about the same guy.
They still have not broken up.
I mean, I really like to hang in there just to be sure. This was the universe like, this dumb bitch, she's still with him. Like, I imagine all the people up there like, Steve, she's still with this guy, look. Like, look what he's gonna do now. So he took me to New York. We were staying, a very nice hotel in Manhattan. Right next to the plaza. It was great. We went to a game.
An important game.
A very prestigious, nice game of sports.
Till they got there.
Okay. So we were there, and he, was popping drinks and
popping bottles.
Yeah, he was like starting to have some beers and some wine and some shots, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm still on my first glass here, but you do you. We're adults. We can handle our liquor. I am not in high school anymore.
Not anymore.
Now we are in New York. We've moved locations, all right? And he goes, I was watching the people playing the game. It happened to be two men.
How dare you?
Two men were playing the game. And I was looking at them a little too long, if you ask me. He got very upset with me. I also forgot two important details. We were in Queens, and he had my wallet in his pocket because they wouldn't allow bags into this facility. So he just gets up and leaves, right? His phone is dead, and he leaves. I have my phone, no ID, no wallet, no anything. So it's time to go, and I finished watching the game. I'm still sitting there by myself. I'm like, all right, you're gonna have to make moves, Kat. It's time to get home. So I'm in the middle of Queens, nobody. That's not true. I made friends, as I do. I saw this couple that I had made friends with right when I got there, and I'm like, beeline, let's go, get to them. And before I got to them, there was also like all these people asking for, hey, Uber, and I'm like, I didn't call an Uber, and you are not an Uber. So I ended up getting a car with them, and we got to the hotel. They dropped me off at my hotel, and he was actually in the hotel already, sleeping. And I had to bang on the door because the hotel lobby guy was like, I know who you are, but he's the only one allowed and I'm like, okay, it's fine, Eduardo. I'm going to wake his ass up, but your neighbor is right there. Might not be happy, but I'm going to wake him up. So I wake him up, and he opens the door so upset. I'm like, you're upset at me for waking you up. And I just started grabbing my stuff.
Well, he had forgotten what he had done.
Oh, shit. So he had booked my flight back home to New York, and in his drunken stupor, I guess he was lucid enough to cancel my flight home. And so he canceled my flight back home, and I got a notification that my flight had been canceled. So at this point, I'm on the phone with my parents. I'm like, I'm booking a flight back home, and I'm coming home now. And he doesn't know this, so I get to the hotel room. He's upset. I start packing my stuff. He's like, what are you doing? Blah, 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 blah. And then tries not to let me leave, and I lose my shit a little bit. Don't you touch me, you piece of shit. And he had gotten me all these things in New York. He bought me so many things, and I left them all there. I'm like, I don't want any of this. Like, just don't. That was my last straw. Or so I thought. Just kidding. Just kidding. But then he bought me a car, so no, I'm kidding. But yeah, then I had to leave and go to New York. I'll go home, take the Uber, and they were freaking out. But
we were freaking out.
Yeah, because the Uber driver took a little detour.
Horrible route.
You know, at 4 a.m.
I know, and we're like going crazy here. That was stressful.
Well, it was an adventure, is how I like to look at it. I'm trying to think of another crazy one.
Oh, Valentine.
Yeah, that's the same boy. Let's not do that one. Valentine's is sad. That's actually really sad. That's not a horror story.
It is a horror story.
It was just sad. It was sad. So I didn't have a boy treat me good on Valentine's Day, and he didn't do anything special for me. So my dad thought it would be really sweet to get me a limo. Like a limo decked out with like champagne and stars in the limo.
To come and meet us.
To take me home. So I took a limo by myself. It was so sad. Like, I knew he was trying to be nice, but I felt so lonely. I was like, oh, okay. Wow, this is so fun. I drank like the whole bottle of champagne. My dad goes, hey, look out the window. That's your ride. I'm like, oh. I thought they were in the car maybe, or like they planned some surprise for me.
No, we didn't have time.
I know, they didn't have time. It was just as sweet. But then it was also me by myself for this limo that was meant for a party of 20 to go to prom.
We couldn't get a smaller limo, okay?
Another person. Tell me. Do you guys want to know why I got a divorce? This is the worst one yet. Now, this is a horror story if I've ever heard one. Can't say that one. What else? What other horror story? Well, now that I'm thinking of that one, I can't think of anything to top it.
That one was a good top.
That was a cherry. My mom loves this guy, so she doesn't want me to talk about it. We're not going to say who it is.
Of course not.
Yeah. And all the identities are, this guy was just, he was my friend, and I think he started to get feelings. And he just showed up to my house one night and, like, said that he was going to wait outside for me and to come outside, and I'm like, I'm in bed with my kid, like, what? I mean, I didn't answer, and then he sent me all these cryptic messages saying, like, if I would have come outside, I would have known what real love was, and all this very
sketchy
talk about, like, our whole friendship and how he felt the whole time, and it was just really uncomfortable. It was just weird. Just like show up at my house where I live alone with my kid, and then to tell me to come outside when my kids sleep. It was just an invasion of privacy. My dad had to like shut up. It was just weird. And he wasn't acting like himself.
Anybody else?
No, I can't say that one.
Which one?
No, you didn't tell me that. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Okay, this is just inappropriate, but this one guy. His fantasy is for me to I mean, I guess some of my exes would show up at my house in the middle of the night drunk.
They all did. No. The police officers knew us. Which boyfriend do we have to follow now, ma'am?
And the police officers like knew me when I was like a little girl, and they're like, Kat's all grown up now.
They called me one day and they were like, Kat's in a car in the back seat.
Okay, to preface. Okay, that sounds bad, first off. Ma'am, she's in the back seat. That's it. That's the only context you gave.
No.
No, I was a very good girl. So when I would do things, anything, the cops would literally call my parents. So my friend was driving. He was a guy.
And the police stopped you.
And he was in the car with another guy, and I was in the back. We were going to get one of my friends. The cops stopped us. He wasn't even speeding. He just saw him, like, leave my... He was doing nothing wrong. And he, like, asks me, he's like, Kat,
does your mom know you're here?
Step out of the car. And I'm like, oh, I'm trying to be cool. I'm, like, a freshman in high school. I'm like, Officer Dave, come on. These are my friends. He's like, do you know who these boys are? And I'm like, yes.
Yes, I've known them all
right.
my life.
Do you want to stay here? I'm like, yes. He's like, I'm going to like, call your parents. Do they know you're here? And I'm like,
Yeah.
yes. And then he goes, all right,
Call
calling your
your-
mother. And I'm like, okay, call her.
No, and he asked me, remember? Do you know that cat is out and about? And I said, yes, I actually gave her permission.
He
Thank
goes,
you.
you want to allow this to happen? She's like, yes, please.
Let her go.
Yeah, so nice. One time I went to a club when I was younger that I had no business being at, and I lost my phone. I misplaced it. And then my ride bailed, so I asked my dad to come pick me up. I'm like, Daddy, can you come get me? I had to call him off like someone else's phone because I couldn't find my phone, and I get in his car, and without saying a word, he looks at me, hands me my phone that I lost in the club.
The clear.
And I was like, oh, thanks. I was looking for that. Not a word was said in that car ride after that. I'm like, all right, just gonna go home. Thanks, Dad. Still don't know. Oh, no, I do know. Did he ever tell me how he got the phone?
First told you for many years that he had sent a security guard to check on you. And then when she left the phone, security guard just picked it up and gave it to him.
Yeah, I did think it was weird that this security man kept looking at me. I would like order a drink like of water, and he'd be like, and I'm like, it's just water, sir.
I'm not underage drinking.
I'd be like dancing with my friends in the crowd, and I would just see his head like bob up, like, like I thought I was going crazy.
But she was safe.
Everyone was safe.
Everyone was safe. That was our concern.
It was so funny. The place was literally located like in the
Horrible neighborhood.
It was just in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. But it was like, are they gonna kill them there, or are they gonna take them out to party?
First they'll dance,
and
then they die.
Horrible. So yes, security guard and everything. Cute security guard, so he would blend in.
Wasn't blending.
Well,
Very serious.
No, that's just because he was tall.
Well, honestly, I thought he had a crush on me. It was like,
this guy doesn't
I'm
leave me
fine.
alone.
Don't worry. I'm not dancing with any guys.
Don't get jealous.
Stop getting jealous. Yeah, that was a rough one. That was rough. And I remember, so when my ex, at one point, I started dating this guy in college, or dated this guy in college. We were broken up, and I was at some frat party. And all of a sudden, these guys start getting Facebook messages. This is when Facebook was still like a thing. It was about me. Because I guess my ex knew these people and was asking if I was at this party. And were like telling them to have me taken out of the party.
So suddenly you're being dragged out?
No, they would just show me their phone, be like, is this for you? And I'm like, what? No. That girl's ex is crazy though. That's not mine. I don't know who that is. He was like, is your name Catherine? I'm like,
No.
Katie. That's my full name, Katie. Did I say Catholic? I know you guys can top horror dating stories. I know this.
Oh, please do so.
Please do so. Just comment, and we can do another video reading the worst ones or the best ones.
Does Christopher have any horror stories?
Coño.
Oh!
Well, maybe now you guys have an even more insightful look at who I am.
I just want to mention that the guys that she has gone out with, they start normal. They're totally normal, nice people. But then, I don't know what happens. They just go crazy.
Well, that's all I got for you. I'm sure I can think up like 20 more, but
Those are bad enough.
yeah, I'm actually sad for myself at this point.
Why?
Because I should have like not dated those people.
But don't be. You learn from it. Everybody gives you a lesson, and it's something that you have to learn. So don't ever look back and say, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that.
I just wanted to
There's
really be
no
sure.
what ifs. And you tried till you were absolutely sure.
Yeah. You did what you knew then, like, but now that you know better, you'll do better.
Yeah.
That was always comforting to me because like I'd get down on myself, but I didn't know. So yes, thank you guys for joining us, and I'm really actually so excited for this comment section to see what you guys got. It's gonna be funny.
Oh, it's going to be interesting.
All right, I love you guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.